Podcast. Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. In today's podcast, we're going to be talking about and trying to find the right spot to speak so the sound doesn't sound like too weird. What are we going to be talking about actually? I have no idea. Oh, time to be present. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm turning my microphone again. I know. I need to put a little probably sticker says speak on that side of the microphone. Okay, let's get started. I know, and I'm not cutting it because you know what? Emma likes to keep it raw and honest and authentic. So, not too commercially. Sorry, I could do that. I do that with Jenner, my friend Jenner, when we do with Studio Stargazer. But when it comes down to Emma's Universe podcast, let's keep it raw. Let's keep it honest. Because you know what? You want to make it pretty. You wanted to make it perfect. But guess what? There's a lot going on behind the scenes. So once in a while, it's good to keep it the way it is. And maybe later on, I'm going to say, what was I thinking when I did that? Oh, well, too late. Too bad. So let's get started. So I'm watching the YouTube channel, the cooking channel. I love it. It gives great ideas for soul for the food for the soul. It is now more New Orleans cuisine. Oh, good Lord. And I watched it. Oh boy. That looks so good. Seriously, the guy was making the shrimps. I wish I could transport myself into those shows and just say, have a seat, wait on the front of them and say, okay, buddy, are you done yet? Because I want to test it. This is how it felt. You could hear the sizzling. And, the shrimp looked phenomenal. The guy was good. I'm like, holy crap. So it brings me back to Jay. Yes, we talked about going there for a few days. It is a bittersweet thoughts for sure. I do miss my friend, but I know he's watching over me. Yes, he does. I'm going to speak with Caroline and his daughter this weekend using technology, so I do not have to spend my money when I'm calling Europe. And to be honest with you, here's the most interesting part. I realize here we are paying a lot of money when we speak with our loved ones overseas compared to them who do it for free. Okay? The US, they like to, and I've done it for 20 years. Now I don't. I don't even go with the international anymore because I refuse to pay the $5 a month or whatever. Then you have to pay for the tower fees because there's a tower to another tower. So they like to charge you. So your communication can end up like to be, even if they say 10 cents, 15 cents, or 20 cents. Well, lucky me, because with Jay, I used to speak 4 to 5 hours. Do you imagine a little bit 4 to 5 hours, how much it would have cost me? So every time I wanted to talk to him, I would call him and say, okay, can you call me back? Or I would leave him a message on his answering machine that would cost me like $3 to $4. Oh, seriously. And just to leave a message because, you pay for the towers and the towers fee and the towers fee. I'm like, really? You got the freaking satellite, people. Okay? T-Mobile, you got your freaking satellite. So I shouldn't be paying for, quote unquote, a tower. All right? When in Europe, they don't. And some other countries around the world don't. It's free. I know. Been there, done that. So I'm using Messenger, actually. Now I use Messenger. I use other tools to do it because you know what? It's free. It's video or just a call. It's freaking free. So I also love to watch Martha Stewart. We're back into the cooking world. I love her shows. To be honest with you, I would like to sit down at her kitchen over there. Watch her is amazing. But I'm like, holy crap, I wish I could be there and the one at the end to eat it because she has so many good recipes, international recipes. It's beautiful. I love what she does. She always had great recipes, easy to do as well. So for someone who loves to cook, it is always great to have some new ideas instead of the old same thing all over again. It is inspiring to do that. I also have a friend of mine who did something that I always wanted to do, and it is to attend a pottery class. Now we're changing from food to pottery. Yes, learning how to use the wheel to create something. I was laughing with her about it She had a great time. Like she stated to me to focus, she had to focus on with the wheel because sorry, I'm laughing. So, no time to invite distraction, otherwise, it will turn to be a disaster. I'm looking forward to do that in the near futures. It's amazing because each piece is different. This is so cool. Instead of being made, not mad, sorry, instead of being made via manufacturers who where they have they have a perfect mold, so every single pieces come out perfectly. If you go to, I love my World TT, so we're gonna say to Walmart, you go to their section where they have all of their cup, glass, what do you say, plates, what did I say, mugs. They're all perfect. Every single one of them is identical because they use the same mold. What I love with pottery, actually, because it's handmade, it's not. They all have a different variation. Nishi, who I like her, is Nishi Pottery, who is in California. I think it's like San Francisco, in the Bay Area. I knew her because of Wisdom, actually. So I like her very much. She's a lady of a certain age, and I think I talked on my previous podcast about her, actually, because, and that's what I appreciated her. When I was doing, I need to go back and start to do mine, actually go back in there and do more the Half C show on Wisdom Online. She used to listen to Wisdom, and she said to me one day, I met her, I don't know, she said, you're the only one I want to talk to. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice, all right. But a wonderful person, great stories, because when she was younger, she went to Japan, and she was in the arts, and she loved pottery. And she learned pottery and stayed for many years in Japan, and came back in the Bay Area with her husband and her kids. But she opened a pottery studio there, and she's amazing. If you're looking both of them, what they're doing, it's amazing. Their pottery is absolutely breathtaking. This is the traditional Japanese pottery. It's gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. So when my friend told me that she was gonna do that, we laughed first, because it's like, okay, so what are you gonna do with the powder? I said, you better to be concentrated, because remember that if you don't pay any attention to what you do, I said, you can end up with that beautiful clay all over your faces and clothes. And we were laughing so hard. I said, that probably would be me, actually, at the end of the day, to have it all over the face. And I said, I don't know if I will be able to create like they do. Okay, I do drawings, I do things like that. Now pottery, this is something I would love to do. But what was very interesting as well is when you do pottery and you have the wheel, you are, and she confirmed that afterwards, you really have to be focused. So that's mean you cannot be distracted. You are present. It's a great way to be present in a moment, to really learn to stay focused. You cannot have your phone, you cannot have this. You have music or silence, and you start to create. You're really focused on the piece you're going to create. And that's what I love. So it's a great way, maybe all of the children should be doing this, to stay focused, really, and zoom your attention on creating something. So it could be a plate, a vase, I don't know, a bowl, whatever you want to create. A piece of art, who knows. But it was very interesting that she went there and she had such a great time. So I probably later on would like to put this, I'm going to put this on my to-do list, actually, on my notebook, because I really want to do that as well. It's very creative. It's really earth. You got your hands, quote unquote, dirty because you're working with the clay and water. That's why I say you could be splattered everywhere. Depends how fast you go with the wheel. But there is a way to do it and create. And that's what is beautiful. So, studying as an apprentice and moving to that journeyman. But it was awesome to know that there is some studio around here. There's one, I think, in Stillwater as well who does that. But it's amazing, there is some pottery shop here where you can go with your friends and you can paint. That's the end of the pottery process. but the creating part of it is amazing. It's like the one who are blowing, what do you call it, glass, the glass blower, Murano in Italy. And I talked to somebody, I was on networking a couple of days ago, and I was talking with someone, Terry actually, who she's somebody who creates and draw and do a lot of fun things. And we talked about it because she's gonna go on a trip in October in Italy. And she's going to go to the island of Capri, actually, because I thought she would have gone to Sardinia or Murano, because Murano, this is where you got that, and it's worldwide renowned. The masters are over there, where the design, oh my goodness gracious, of those beautiful glass vase decoration are amazing, literally amazing. So learn to blow glass is again another art that's so interesting. The creativity, the colors, the fire, everything is amazing. And that's what it's so beautiful. It's like you take the time to be present and to create something. So think about what you would like to do. So I'm using like this podcast to talk about it, between the cooking where you get better ideas. Same with our businesses. It's like, okay, sometimes we can feel stagnant on some of the stuff. And it's amazing to see how beautiful things can happen. What can we do to really be there for our own self? Well, one thing that's why those activities really bring you back where you're supposed to be, that's being present on everything and learn to be focused, is because you have to be there to do it. Imagine somebody who's too busy, then he try to blow some glass and end up to something horrifying, or he cannot even do it because he's not focusing enough. Or if you do a pottery, the attention, you lose your attention, and you're gonna end up with something that turned beautiful to something that turned horrible. So you're gonna bring it back to the clay form and have to redo everything. Think about the cooking part of it too, because sometimes when you think about cooking, people don't think about, well, when you do a recipe of some kind, you have to watch what you're doing in order to make it right. Watch when it's cooking as well, so you don't burn it. So same thing, being present on everything we do. I really like those ideas, and it's much fun even for some classes you want to attend, to be present when you do things. So it could be a programming class, it could be a design class, it could be an architectural class, any classes as well, or something for languages. Think about what you can do. I love that. I love the fact that teaching us to stay off our social media, stay off electronics. So that helps our brain to relax a little bit too. We do not feel like we're overly excited by everything. We always said, with the blue light from the computers, it activated a part of the brain that doesn't help to keep it more grounded. It keeps it going and going and going. Well, the game here is get off the hamster wheel and find an activity, and it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe it's walking, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's do work, exercise, yoga, something that keeps us actually busy in a way that is going back to basics. I cannot imagine, I don't know, I have thoughts coming up, like imagine the caveman with a computer in their cave looking at the weather or when the next dinosaur will be around. But it's really go back to the basics, which is grounding ourselves, being present, learning to be present. It's not spending our time into that world of social media. It's really being here in the now. And that's what it's supposed to be here. So learning to be present is helping us to really look at where we are instead of running away from whatever we want to run away from. Or projecting, oh my goodness gracious, projecting ourselves into the future. Been there, done that, by the way. And a lot of people doing it. We don't want to face our problem. We want to, how we say that? I don't want to say pass by, but we want to be already on the other side of the challenge. Sometimes, somebody said it yesterday, when you have a tower moment, which is a challenge, We don't want to, we try to avoid it. And it's like, you cannot avoid it, you have to do it. So even though we may be entering it into a challenging phase, well, let's go and do and face it and figure it out, how to get out of it, how to work it out so we can improve where we are, and really being open to learn more, because there is always a learning curve, no matter what we're facing, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We always are learning something. And to be honest with you, it's not in a good time that we're learning things. It's where we faced, when we are faced with challenges. This is one of the hardest and the most, I would say, unpleasant thing. I will say that because I will be a hypocrite if I don't. It will be, oh no, it's when you have roses and bonbon and champagne and you're learning a lot. No, not at all. If through trials and tribulation, this is why. And I will continue to set it since the beginning. When we showed up here on earth, because we're spirit before being human, we're spirit first, okay? We're a bunch of spirits that showed up here, and we are having a human experience. That's what it's all about. And before we showed up, then we have a set of life lessons we want to learn. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Again, it all depends where we are in our journey. But we're going to be faced by challenges, the one that we said before we showed up, and also by the world we're living in, because we are faced by everything else as well. That's the way life goes. As I said, I think that was last week, that was losing faith. I talked about it, and I know it was... like Jenner, I told Jenner, my beautiful friend Jenner, thank you, love, that to listen to it actually, because again, we're gonna do something specific on Studio Stargazer later on about losing faith and people who are basically committing suicide, who are ending their life. This is a very harsh environment. For me, I call it hell. This is hell here, for the reason of, it depends where you are in your life. I have a friend of mine that I dearly love to death as well, and love it to pieces. And she has a great life. She has a fantastic life. She has faced a couple of challenges, but most of it's pretty smooth ride, which is awesome actually. No, I'm not envious of that, because this is her journey, by the way. So you don't have to look at everybody and be envious of their journey, because this is not your journey. Your journey is yours, is unique. But in some cases, like I talked before, is that it is such a harsh environment. We are faced by the shocking reality that we have to go and do what we gotta do in our lives, and the ugliness of it, in order to learn something out of it. It is not pleasant every day, absolutely not, but we can try to find the strengths. But this is a very harsh environment, yes it is. And we have to learn to overcome it. Now, what I appreciated with what I call being present in our lives is to really appreciate where we are, being grateful. And I know it sounds like corny or whatever. It's like, Emma, are you freaking kidding me? Well, I'm going to say that. Subliminal, music will help. Change your mind, change your thoughts. It will change your outer conditions. I got reminded of that, and I'm doing it every freaking day. Meditation helps. I know you're going to say, well, but this and that. Well, you're going to see miracles when you finally decide to change your mind. If you're always in a negativity, and I know it's not that easy, been there, done that, guys, swimming in there right now, it's to pull yourself out, and we're doing it one step at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. This is why it's such, I call it hell here, for the simple reason that it is a harsh environment, and we have to do it on our own with the support of others, but it starts with us. So for me, learning to stay focused, learning to maybe watching a show and get inspired to modify the cooking, maybe doing a new feng shui, maybe changing something in the house where you are will help. Bringing a space, creating your own sacred space. Do something that, if you can, like going to a pottery. Learn something new. Bring something new into your life. Not being stagnant. Very challenging. Go online, look at some stuff that will make your dreams so you can bring that imagination. But in order to stay focused and present and not, projecting yourself in the future is not going to bring you, and especially when you have to solve problems, or it's not even problem, but challenges, towers moment. But do something that really will push you to the next level. One step at a time. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. It is not a sprint, it is not a marathon, and there is no shortcut. So don't even dare take the shortcut, because the shortcut will become the longest road you take. That's exactly what happened. When people use shortcut, it's always the longest road, not the best one. But think about focusing. Get out of your head. Go outside. Like, I have an opportunity for me, because when no, Mike, you're not gonna approach this. This is a candle, kid. You cannot take. It's a candle, honey. Yes, you don't want to burn your little snoofy nose. Yes, good boy. That's what happened when the boy. Yeah, because today is the day of Malu celebration. One of my cats passed away, and he passed away on that day. And it's not sad, it's beautiful now, because I love my boy. 2 boys. So, but as I said before, Makakai decided to want to smell the candle. It's very nicely burning. Don't use any shortcut, but do focus on what you're doing. Like for me, in the case of going outside, I adopted dogs. I switched from cats to dogs. Why? Because my dogs, I have to go outside. I have to walk. And I don't care. Well, I don't care. I do care. But when it's cold right now, I don't know why. We're like we're on the 30th right now. So March. And again, today the weather is like, oh boy, it's kind of cold. But you know what? We went for a walk. I had actually Daddy and Lulu first. And we did a very interesting walk with the 2 of them, which was awesome, a longer one. And Makakai decided to go on his own walk, and I let him do it. It was funny, actually, because I love the boy. The boy decided to go, instead of going left, he decided to go right on the trails. Then we went to another intersection where I'm looking at him like, oh, honey, there is a huge patch of, ice patch over there. I'm like, I do not like this one. So he decided to go uphill into another section where it was still icy, but at least we could walk very safely. And he did a very good job, because he didn't run. Oh, the boy, I have stories about that boy when he was younger, little shitty boo, where he would bolt when we were on ice, and he knew it in purpose. So I had to release him, otherwise I would have break my neck, literally. I was mad at him, but he did it a couple of times. This time around, no, he was more kind to Mama for a change. He's always kind to me, most of the time. But we went for a walk, and I let him decide which way he wanted to go. So we went across, and I thought we would do a loop. And he decided to, at the end, it's like, no, we're going to turn around. We're going to visit. We're going to come back. And he was funny. That's my boy. He's a very interesting boy. But look at where you are. So for me, getting outside, it's very helpful when you got dogs, because you can take them on walks. And I take 2 separate walks, actually. So that makes me even exercise even more. I'm the one who's more tired than the dogs at the end. But it's great. It's a great way to take fresh air. But figure it out a way to get out of your mind, out of your mind, and just find a different way. Find things that really light up something within you. And that's what the goal is. So being present in our lives, it's not escaping. It's not being worried. And I know being worried is something we have every day, being stressed out. But it's finding some relief. And that relief for me is being outside with the dogs. Like this morning we went to the field. The 4 of us went to the field. Let them loose. And then Mike had enough. He's like, oh, I'm done. I pee. I did my business. I am fine. And it was like, okay, no problem. Then we went for the walk a few hours later. And I was like, okay, we're good. So it's let them doing it and enjoying it. And find a way to be present in your life. That's what it's all about. So this was our podcast for today. I have no idea what we're going to talk about on our next podcast because I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to be something good. If you have any comments or like to get a hold of me, you can go on edg-associates.com. There's a contact form there. So any comments, anything else will be welcome. All my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.